Hello you and welcome to some kind of Fox content and welcome to The Test Secrets of the Soul 2. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Test series, they've done a bunch of games in the series. It is very simple. You simply answer questions. So I just thought to myself that this would be fitting for a kind of end of the year deal here. The game is right now asking me to first play the Test Secrets of the Soul before heading into this one. But we already did that. We did that back in July this year, I think. So with that, I just want to say, if you don't want to get to know me even more deeply, I might click off the video now. For the rest of you that do want to get to know me, I bid you welcome to the Test Secrets of the Soul 2. My brother. Poor brother, you're not the only one. Oh sister, sweet sister, the pain has just begun. Contain it no longer. I cast away the sun. In darkness I wander. Thy father's will be done. Oh, I didn't know we were going all Shakespearean on it. You find yourself once again on the inside of a seemingly empty chapel tucked away in the throes of a midnight storm. The rain pelts the windows like falling stones, and the wind rages on as the chapel doors shake and tremble. As you peer around the room, you catch a set of glowing red eyes gazing at you under a shroud of darkness. A ghastly apparition begins to form in front of you, accompanied with a grim voice beckoning you into the light. The desolate chapel. Ah, there he is. He was there in the first test game. The Watcher he is. So, we meet again, Wanderer. I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Your clothes are soaked and tattered. Come, dry yourself from the downpour. For we have all the time in the world to converse. Not really, we have an episode to finish here and I don't want to go too far over time. It looks like the storm is going to last a while, Wanderer. Make yourself at home. I'm sure we have a few things to catch up on. I'd love to play our favorite game, wouldn't you? You know, the one where I peer deep into your soul. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, Wanderer. I know I certainly will. We can even make it interesting. Oh. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to answer them for me. And as always, I'm going to need your complete and utter honesty. As I said in the last game, and as I will say whenever I play one of these test games, I will answer in earnest for better or worse. There's so much I didn't get to ask you the last time we were in each other's presence, Wanderer. I look forward to getting to know you on an even deeper level. And as I said, if you don't want to be a part of getting to know me on a deeper level, might want to click off the video right now. Now, some of these questions are going to be quite difficult to answer. Just take your time and think. It's better to give a genuine answer than it is to rush, for there is no going back. And just like last time, I'll tell you what I see within your soul. But this time, you might not like what you hear. Let's get started, shall we? Are you guys ready to answer? Well, you're not going to be answering anything. Are you ready to hear my answers to the questions posed by the Watcher? I hope so. Make yourself comfortable as I drill deep into your psyche. We'll begin now. Hang on, let me just clear my throat and scuttle into my chair here. Okay, here we go. Would you say you're currently in a positive mood? More or less so, yes. I'm gonna try to answer them a little bit rushed, Simply because this episode will drag on for far too long if I just blabber about and think too long. I think it's gonna be around an hour. I hope so, depending on how much I speak in between each question. But I'm gonna try to rush it just a little bit. Are you feeling nervous at all? Nope. Are you feeling somewhat anxious? Are we talking currently or just in general? Yeah, maybe a little bit anxious. Not related to you, Watcher. Would you say that you're feeling curious at the moment? Not much, actually. No. Are you currently worried about anything at all? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a fairly open individual? Yeah. Can you sometimes keep your walls very high and be somewhat reserved? Oh, my man, I built a castle, let alone walls. Do you think that anyone... hang on, I need to turn down the audio a bit. I can't hear myself. Do you think that anyone truly knows you, Wanderer? Well, I hardly know myself, so that would be a feat, if anyone did so. Would you say you have a pretty good idea of the types of questions I'm going to ask you? Yeah, I've played this once or twice. Well, not this exact game, but I've played multiple of the test series games here. Are you prepared to be completely and utterly honest with your answers moving forward, even if they're difficult to answer? Yes. For better or worse, I'm gonna answer in earnest. There might be some stuff here where I answer something and you might not like what you hear. I even might not like it myself, but we are gonna be honest. Wonderful, I'll remember that. Also, if my voice is a bit it's because I just woke up. Have you ever felt like a demon lived inside of you? Okay, so the thing about the test games is that it's a lot about interpretations too. How you interpret the question. With this one, are we talking like, have I ever felt like I have been literally possessed by a demon, like you see in The Exorcist and stuff, like an actual demon being inside of me? Or are we just talking like the dark sides of humanity in that regard? Have I ever felt like a demon lived inside of me? No, I don't think so. Interesting. Have you ever looked for a way out of this life? Sadly, yes, I have. Do you know what it feels like to be truly and completely content? Not yet, but I'm working on it. Can two separate people's traumas ever be accurately compared? Accurately? No, I don't think so. I think this is a flaw in logic when people think that emotions and reactions and stuff like that are equal amongst people. No, there's a reason why we're called individuals, and it's because we react and feel and think and do individually to things. So what one person might see as a huge trauma that is going to wreck their life, another person going through the exact same thing might not see it as severe as the other person, even though the traumas are the same. I think it's such a faulty logic when people do this. I hate this argument that, oh, I did it, therefore everyone can. No, the fact that you did it is not proof that it is doable. The fact that you did it is proof that it is doable to you. Other people might not be like you. That's why we're individuals. So, in short, can two separate people's traumas ever be accurately compared? No, I don't think so. There are too many variables and individual stuff for it to be accurately compared. No. Do you believe that everyone should have the right to pursue happiness? Once again, how do we interpret this? Are we talking from birth? Because then, yes. Like, think of a baby that hasn't done anything, said anything, thought anything, been anything. I think amongst those, being babies, newly born, not influenced or having done anything, I think every baby has the right to pursue happiness. However, are we talking people as they are right now? I think there may be a few people among us where it is best for us to say, you get to stay in this cell. I know this is not your pursuit of happiness, but you just don't get to play anymore because you have been naughty. But I'm gonna interpret this the baby way, saying that from birth, everyone should have the right to pursue happiness. Absolutely. If faith is having the belief in something in the absence of evidence, then would you say that you exhibit faith in anything, Wanderer? Hang on, let me think. Do I believe in something even though there's a lack of evidence of such? I'm sorry for not talking. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, there might be a few things, actually. Would you consider yourself to be a rational individual, generally speaking? Yeah. Is it possible to think about nothing? I mean, that's a conundrum, because if you think that you think about nothing, then you are actually thinking that you are thinking about nothing. That's a lot of thinking going on. See, I think this is possible, yet you wouldn't know, because the moment you realize, you would start thinking about it. Thereby, you are not thinking about nothing. If that makes sense. I don't even think it made sense. I'm just blabbering here. Is it possible to think about nothing? Yes, I think it is. You just don't realize it. Have you ever experienced the feeling of emptiness? Absolutely. Does death give meaning to life? So this is one of those, is a flower pretty because it wither kind of deals. Yeah, I think it does. I think life would be a lot more meaningless should we last forever. I think that would take a lot out of life. I think there's a beauty in us having a designated end station, and it's about enjoying life while you have time. None of us knows when we are going to die, so it's important to enjoy life while time is. So yes, I do think that death gives meaning to life. Do you have to experience something in order to know it exists? This is an interesting one, because I am a huge advocate for saying that you don't truly know how anything is until you have experienced it yourself. I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion on something or have an idea of how something is, even though you haven't experienced it yourself. But I truly believe in order to truly know what something is like, you would have to have wandered those fires yourselves. But do you have to experience something in order to know it exists? No. I would say no. You can know something exists without... I mean, I haven't experienced Belgium, and I'm sure that's somewhere on a map. Do you believe that humans are the only species that questions why they exist? I'm gonna interpret this as earthly, so I don't have to deal with, like, well, this Martian on planet B5, he is existential too. So earthly beings. I mean, I have never been inside the mind of a dog. I don't know if they get existential. But I would think that that kind of thinking is only human. I don't know, obviously. I can't tell what another creature is questioning. But I do think that that level of self-awareness and existentialism is confined to humans alone. Yes. Do you believe that life has a goal and a meaning? I believe you can make a goal and impose a meaning on your own life? Yes. Do I believe that life, if we are speaking generally, has a goal and a meaning? No. In that regard, I am very nihilistic. I don't think that we were put here or created with a goal in mind. I think goals and meanings are completely individual. The meaning of life to you is going to be completely different from someone else's. Your goals will not be the same as someone else's. Therefore, a universal goal and meaning for me cannot exist. But individual goals and meanings can exist. It is whatever you make life out to be. But I'm gonna have to say no, because I'm gonna interpret this question as life in general. And no, I don't think that there's a goal or a meaning to that, however dark that sounds. I think you can have your own individual goals and meanings, but life in general, no. Would you want to be in charge of choosing how you die? Absolutely not. I think that would drive me paranoid. I would love to choose things where I can be like, that's not how I die. For example, plane crashes. I don't know, but that's an intense fear with me. I can't get near a plane. Get me 50 meters within an airplane, and I will just completely tense up and freeze. I will not be able to move. I will be so tremendously afraid that I just shut down. I can't do it. I cannot get on an airplane. I'm too scared. But would I want to be in charge of choosing how I die? No. I think that wouldn't that drive you insane? Let's say you chose like, oh, okay, unless you're boring and be like, I die of old age. But if you choose like, I'm gonna die in a car crash, wouldn't that make you so paranoid about ever getting near a car at all? So no, I would not like this. Have you ever wondered if perhaps you're living in a dream? Simulations sometimes has occurred. In a dream, no. Do you believe that fear prevents you from living life to your fullest? Absolutely. Do you believe that you can tell the difference between good and evil? Once again, we run into a nihilistic problem here. Because what is good and evil? I think morals are man-made. And with that, once again, we have to consider this individual thinking. What might be good and evil to me might be different with someone else. Hence, a universal good and evil cannot necessarily exist. I think there are plenty of things where we have established where the majority of humanity has been like, okay, that's bad, and that's really good. But universally, I don't think that this concept can exist. Because it is again based on you as an individual, what you see as good and evil. To some, it might be murder. To others, it's a McDonald's menu. I mean, you see what I'm getting at? Because I don't, so I need help. But, I mean, I can tell the difference between good and evil within myself, but how will I tell the difference between good and evil when something that is evil for me might be indifferent or good to someone else? Then how even can there be a difference? Individually, yes, I can. But given my nihilistic nature, no. Because I can't even tell what good and evil is. Is murder bad? What if you murder someone who is about to do a school shooting? Let's say you are a police officer and you are called out because there's a gunman in the school ready to kill children and you put a bullet in his head. Is that bad? Would we say like, murder is bad? Or is that a good deed? You see what I'm getting at? Are defects always bad? No. I feel very strongly about this one. God, I'm going on tangents right now. I honestly feel like people who have what some will define as defects. I hate that word because it makes it sound like there's something wrong or something that needs to be changed with that person. That isn't necessarily true. I often find that people with defects, I hate that word, I'm sorry to use it, are some of the people who understands life the most, who gets the most out of life, who enjoy life the most, who is the biggest inspiration. So no, I think defects can actually be very good. I myself is glad for the defects that I have. So are defects always bad? Absolutely not. I would honestly say that people without defects, I feel sorry for you. In a way. That might sound weird, but to some, this will make a whole lot of sense. I honestly really strongly believe that some of the people who the general public sees as defects are the most loving and caring and wonderful individuals we have. So are defects always bad? No, I would say living without defects, that's bad. So no. Is it possible to live with absolutely no regrets? I mean, is that even a life? Well, actually, yes, I think it is, because I think some people will look back at what is essentially a regret and just call it a mistake and not necessarily a regret. Those two things aren't the same. You can make a mistake without regretting it. So in a way, yes. And also, if you don't do anything with your life, I guess you live with no... Well, then you would regret not doing anything. I'm just gonna answer yes. Do you believe that sometimes good people do bad things? I think people are capable of exactly the same things, regardless of them being good or bad. Also, what is good people? But yes, I think everyone, regardless of being seen as a good person or a bad person, is capable and will sometimes do things that are of lesser, if that makes sense. So, yes, I do believe that good people sometimes do bad things. And just because a person does something bad does not inherently make them a bad person. It makes the action bad for sure, but that one action shouldn't define that person as a whole. Would you help someone who wronged you in the past? Wronged to what degree? If it's like something minor 15 years ago, of course I would. But if it's something major, then I hate to say it, but no, I wouldn't help them. That might not be a good answer, but I told you I'm gonna answer in earnest. And if someone wronged me badly enough, you aren't getting my help. But the question is wronged. How do we interpret that? I'm gonna interpret it as a major thing, since we're holding on to it. So no. Again, not necessarily an answer I like to give, but that is the honest answer. If you wronged me enough, you will not receive my help in future events. I would love to be a forgiving and caring person that's like, oh, that doesn't matter now. But the reality is that in some points, I'm not. Would you continue to be friends with someone who betrayed you? Okay, see, now we're talking. Wronged me is one thing. Betrayed is a whole nother ballpark for me. Betrayal is quite significant. So absolutely not. You can wrong me and we can still be friends. Yes, if you betray me, I cannot have you in my life. No. I've been betrayed enough to let that stand anymore. Do you believe that you're gifted? In what? No. Jesus Christ. Do you believe it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Yes. Have you ever self-sabotaged and ruined a friendship or relationship? I might have to change my answer in being gifted, because if there's something I'm good at, it is self-sabotaging. I don't mean to do it, but there are a flaw with me that I will get into in the end of year stream, because it has been quite significant this year especially. But there is an inherent flaw within me that leads me to self-sabotage a lot. To quickly, very briefly touch on it, I live in a world where my mind convinces me constantly, and it's so freaking annoying, it pisses me off, but my mind is constantly screaming at me to the point where it becomes reality for me that the worst case scenario is indeed the reality scenario. So whenever I do something, whenever I say something, whenever I think something, even me just being, I convince myself that the absolute worst case scenario, and sometimes it's even absurd thinkings, is reality. That's partially why I can't go on an airplane, because I convince myself to a strong degree that, guess what? This airplane is gonna stop being an airplane. However, it's gonna stop being an airplane while being an airplane in midair. So that's a problem. But it's so freaking annoying. You can hear it in my voice. It pisses me off. But everything I do, say, think, experience, whatever, I am constantly convincing myself that the worst case scenario is what is gonna be real. So if I, like, say, if I want to bring up I said I would touch on this briefly, and then I go on a tangent. I want to bring up Okay. Let's say that there is a group of friends that is gonna go on a get-together, a road trip, a party, whatever. And then I am invited. My mind will convince me without a fault every single time that if you go, there will be others who's gonna be like, oh, then I'm not gonna show up because he's showing up, or that I'm gonna ruin the experience for everyone else, or shitty thoughts like that. And I know they're wrong, but I can't not have them. It's like, I don't want to compare, because I don't like doing that, because I feel like it lessens or it takes something away from both parties. But the principle is the same, or the principle is the same as OCD, where people with OCD knows that, no, I'm not gonna die if I don't wash my hands 100 times each day, but they just have to. There's no not doing it. In the same way, my world is a worst case scenario thanks to my mind. So have I ever self-sabotaged and ruined a friendship or relationship? Yes, sadly I have. It doesn't happen often that I ruin things, but it has happened, yes, due to self-sabotage. I wish I could get over it. I cannot. Do you ever feel like a sponge absorbing the emotions of others? Yes, I actually have a funny story about the meaning of this questions. Or this question. God, I can't talk. I should stop recording right after I wake up. I'm just so eager to get to recording. Do I ever feel like a sponge? Yes. When I was very young, I think I was around 8 or 9, we had a transfer student. I also hit puberty in the middle of that. Hi! We had a transfer student living with us. And at one point, this transfer student told my mom, he, meaning me, is gonna have a very tough time in school. because he is so filled with empathy. Meaning that I often felt worse than the people who were dealing with something because my level of empathy, and I don't mean to sound self-aggrandizing saying this, but my level of empathy was so strong that I often ended up feeling worse than the people going through something. So in that regard, yes, I am absolutely a sponge. I get very affected by the emotions around me. Do you ever feel like a mirror reflecting the emotions of others? I mean, I just said I was a sponge, absorbing the emotions easily. So obviously, if someone is sad, I mirror that reflection. But I think I'm so introverted that whatever emotions I get from others is hidden within myself. I mean, I can reflect emotions, but do I ever feel like a mirror? No, I would say no. Do you think the best things in life are free? Once again, how do we interpret this? I don't think anything in life is free. Everything comes at some sort of cost. It can be monetary, yes, but it can also be the cost of time or the cost of you doing this thing so you are absent in the thing over here. Let's say, I don't know. No, I need to rush this, so I don't want to bring up too many analogies. No, I don't think so. Because I think everything has a cost. If we are interpreting this as monetary only, then yes, I do think the best things in life are free. You can't buy things like love or happiness. You can buy marshmallows, though. Those are pretty close to being the best things in life. But the way I interpret this question, individually and personally, no, I don't think so. Because I think everything has a cost. Do you believe collective happiness could exist in the world? Are you kidding me? As long as there is more than one person on the planet, no. I think the world can be at peace, yes, but you will never get the world to agree on anything, let alone happiness. Do you believe a dream can be taken away? I think so, yes. Well, I mean, the dream might still be there, but the ability to outlive that dream and realize the dream, that can be taken away, I feel like. So, in that regard, yes. But, I mean, this is a yes and no for me, because I do believe that no one can take your ability to dream away. But if you have a dream, that can be taken away from you in the sense of the ability to outlive that dream being taken away. Can enlightenment be achieved without realizing it? I don't know. No? Do you ever get depressed after accomplishing a goal? Yes, actually, this happens to me quite often. That when I achieve something or something good happens to me, I can sometimes feel a little empty afterwards. Sometimes it's because I feel like I didn't celebrate the accomplishment enough. I didn't appreciate it enough. Or sometimes it may just be a question of like, okay, then what now? I have achieved this. Now I am not in that pursuit anymore. Now what do I do? Do you ever get depressed after accomplishing a goal? Yes. I shouldn't try to explain it. I should just answer. Does love hurt? I would say yes. If this is gonna sound weird, but I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say. If love doesn't hurt, is it actually love? I hope that makes sense, because I don't know how to explain that. But I would say that in the same way, if something doesn't make you sad, did you care about it at all? That's where I'm trying to go with it. I don't know if I explained it any better. But obviously, since you love something, you care about it. Hence, it makes you sad when something goes bad with it. So I would say true love, yes, that hurts. Can hurt. It's not that it hurts all the time, but yes, it can hurt. If you're not sad, if your significant other breaks up with you, did you really love them? Hopefully that cleared it up, what I'm trying to say. Do you ever avoid responsibilities if you can get away with it? Oh, I am the master of procrastinations. Do you believe you feel emotional pain on a more severe scale than others? No. Again, I don't think you can compare things like emotional pain. So, is mine more severe than others? How will I measure? Because you cannot compare. Do you believe true love is possible without being loved in return? Yes, I don't think your love for someone or something is dependent on whether or not that love is I almost said regurgitated. What is the word? Why is that gone for me? Is repaid. I don't think true love is dependent on whether or not the love is repaid. So, yes, I do believe true love is possible without being loved in return. Your love is not depending on the love of whatever you love. God, I'm horrible at explaining. Do you ever struggle with allowing yourself to be happy? Oh boy, yes. Again, with the self-sabotaging shite that I have to deal with. And please, I don't want any sympathy or any shit like that in the comment. I'm not trying to explain this to be like, oh, feel sorry for me or anything like that. I hate stuff like that. So please don't. I'm just saying these things to be honest. But do I ever struggle with allowing myself to be happy? Yes, because every time, let's say I hit an achievement or I reach a goal, I immediately self-sabotage myself being like, well, you could have done better, or someone else is doing more than you, or remember that thing you did back in high school? That's worse than the good you did now, so you aren't allowed to be happy. Shit like that. I always take away my own happiness because I balance it towards something else. And then I say to myself, like, I don't deserve to be happy for whatever reason. Have you ever remembered doing something that you didn't actually do? Is this like the Mandela effect? No, I don't think I have. Do you ever attempt to escape from reality? Video games, aren't they essentially like a small escape from reality? And that's sort of the deal I'm running here, so yeah. Do you think it's possible to truly become the best version of yourself? In some points, yes, but I think we can always improve. So, no. But then again, can we improve ourselves continuously? Or is there a point where we are truly the best version of ourselves that we can be? Not necessarily the best or even good, but just the best version of ourselves. I think that we can in like points. Like I can become the best version of myself in something, but in general, no, I think we can always improve ourselves. Do you believe you're fated to do specific things with your life? No, again, I'm too nihilistic. I don't think fate exists. Do you believe life is an adventure? No. A journey, however, yes. But an adventure has some connotations for me that isn't necessarily interchangeable with life in general. So no, an adventure, no. But I do believe life is a journey. Do you believe the future can be predicted by looking back into the past? Again, in some ways, yes. I don't think you can predict the future, but I do believe that we can indeed, how do I say this? In some ways, yes, by looking back. I think maybe yes. Can time be wasted? Yes, but time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Remember that. But yes, you can absolutely waste time. Do you ever wonder where your life will be in 10 years from now? Nope, I'm too busy trying to figure out where the fuck I am right now. Have you ever acted recklessly because you didn't think you'd live a long life? Oh, this is again one of those where the honest answer is not an answer I'd like to give. But yes, I have. And that is in combination with another answer I gave during this gameplay. But I indeed thought my life to end within a lesser time. So maybe I acted a little recklessly in some regards due to me thinking that, well, it's over anyway. So yes, I have. Do you believe science and religion can happily coexist? The problem with that is that both are governed right now by humans, and I don't think humans can happily coexist. But the concept of science and religion, yes, I do believe they can happily coexist. Do you believe that world peace could ever truly exist? Well, as long as there is more than one person on the planet, no. True world peace will never exist. I'm sorry to break it to you. No. Not as long as there are humans and not just a human on the planet. No. Do you think an animal can be evil? No, I don't think animals have morals. I think that is a man-made concept. Again, my nihilism is kicking in here. So, no, I don't think they can. I think animals can do things that we as humans perceive to be evil. There is like, what is it, gerbils that eat their own children and stuff like that. But I don't think an animal can be evil because I don't think that they do so with evil intentions. Do you believe that humans are animals? Well, this is gonna mess up what I just said because yes, I do. And in that, then animals can indeed be evil because humans are animals. Disregard the last questions. Yes, I do believe humans are animals and humans are capable of evil deeds. Have you questioned any of your own answers yet? Funny you should ask just now. Is there such a thing as a foolish question? I think there are questions to which the answer seems more than obvious, making it sort of a redundant question. But I do believe that every question comes from a place of uncertainty or unknowing, wanting to get knowledge. So no. And I think it's rather healthy to question things. I just said yes to that. I meant no. Dang it, I misclicked. Why do I always do that in these games? Would you say that you've had a problem with authority? Not really. I mean, I've heckled with school teachers. That's about as far as that goes, but no. If given the opportunity, would you run your own country? Jesus Christ, I can't even run myself. Giving me the responsibility of a country, I would feel horrible. That would be driving into chaos within minutes. No. Don't ever do that. Don't give me responsibility for a country. Are you exactly where you'd like to be in life at this very moment? Well, do I live in a house in Japan? No. Then no, I am not. I'm working on getting to where I would like to be in life, but at this very moment, no, I haven't achieved that yet. Ah, yes, I had a hunch. Are you afraid of what the future may hold? Not necessarily afraid, no. A little anxious, but afraid, no. Do you have any strong controversial opinions that you avoid openly speaking on at times? Nope. Only in the sense of like, I'm not walking around being like, here's my opinion, clink, clink, hear it, here. I don't just go around speaking my opinion at every moment. There are times when I'm not saying my opinion here. But I may have strong controversial opinions, yes, but the reason I have that opinion is because I believe in it. So why wouldn't I stand up for it if the situation beckons for it? No, I don't. I don't have any opinions that I avoid openly speaking on at times. I would even say if you avoid speaking said opinion, is that not because you question it then? Or if you feel ashamed to say that this is your opinion, is that not because you question that opinion? The reason why I have my opinions is because I firmly believe in them. They may not be right, but at the moment I believe in them. Feel free to change my opinion and I shall happily join yours if I feel like that your viewpoint is way better than the opinion I previously held. I would gladly join your viewpoint, but the opinions I have right now is because I truly believe in them. So why should I avoid openly speaking on them should the situation beckon for my voice? Would you sacrifice everything you have in life to save someone you care about? Well, it isn't that huge of a sacrifice. I ain't got much. Do you think someone would sacrifice everything they have in life to save you? No, and I would ask you not to. Why would you do that? Do you ever enjoy breaking rules? In video games, yes. Otherwise, no. I don't really see any situation where I would enjoyingly, I can't say that word, break a rule. Do you have the most in-depth personality among your peers? Again, I don't think you can measure this. I mean, I think I'm a deep person, but I don't like to compare. I slightly take offense to this question, actually. So no. Have you ever surprised yourself by accomplishing something you didn't think you would accomplish? Did you say Thankmas 2023? Do you ever feel like your life is out of control? That's another thing that I'm gonna get into at the end of the year stream. But yes, especially this year has been very filled with me feeling like just a spectator of my own life rather than a participant. So yes, but I'll get more into that in the end of year stream. This is not the episode for that. Do you like feeling in control? I mean, don't we all have a sense of control? But no. Actually, no. Do you like having no responsibilities? Oh, yes, I do. And the game didn't seem to like that answer. The storm doesn't seem to be letting up now, does it? Shouldn't the comma be here? Letting up now, comma, does it? Right now it seems like it says, this storm doesn't seem to be letting up. Now, does it? I don't know. I hope it would, because we are close to the hour mark, so I'm running out of time here, Mr. Watcher. Speed it up. That's alright. No, it's not. We've still got so much to talk about, Wanderer. Have you ever held regret for something terrible you might have done that wound up hurting someone else? Absolutely, yes. Have you ever played the victim even though you knew you hadn't been wrong? No, but I will admit to something here. Again, I said I would answer the questions honestly, for better or worse. I have made myself at some points a bigger victim than I actually were. I don't like that, but it is something that I have done previously in my life, and I have to be honest about that. I said I would be honest, even though I might not like it. But the question here is, though you knew you hadn't been wrong. No, I don't think so. I've made myself to be a bigger victim, yes, but if I hadn't been wronged, no. Then I haven't partaken in the victimhood of said thing. Have you ever lied to get someone in trouble? No, I don't think so. Seems like a horrible thing to do. Have you ever failed to tell the truth to keep someone out of trouble? I mean, I have things that people have told me that I haven't told to someone else. hence it being a secret, because they trusted me with that knowledge. If that counts, then yes. But it's not like I haven't been like, oh, frick, I forgot to tell the police that Timmy killed someone. So, no. I have secrets, yes. But does that count in this regard? I wouldn't think so. Would you consider yourself to be traditional? No, quite the contrary, actually. Does your mood tend to change drastically with the changing of the seasons? Nope, my mood is all over the place regardless of seasons. Do you oftentimes feel guilty for things that you know aren't actually your fault? I can. Because, once again, this is my mind at work here. I can see someone out there in the horizon fighting, and somehow my mind will be like, well, that's actually your fault. Why would you do such a thing? But oftentimes, no. Would you consider yourself to be socially awkward? Yes. Isn't that the cornerstone of almost every YouTuber, is that we are in some way, shape, or form a little socially awkward? I don't know. And again, I didn't. If you're a YouTuber, I didn't mean to say point fingers at you and be like, you're socially awkward. But am I? Yes. Would you care if you were forgotten after you die? No, not really. And honestly, that's on me. If I'm forgotten after I die, it's because I didn't make a big enough impact while I lived. And also, I'm dead. Why would I care? Have you ever persuaded someone into changing their mind to better suit your wants or need? I have argued with people trying to convince them of my viewpoint, but have I persuaded someone into changing their mind just to get my own wants or need? No, that's what a psychopath does, or a sociopath. Do you feel like you have a strong moral obligation to protect the ones you love? If I still had my dogs, then I would have answered yes. They are my responsibility, and it is indeed my obligation to protect them. Do I feel moral obligation right now to protect the ones I love? The way I interpret this question, I would say no. I don't feel obligated to. I want to protect the ones I love, but an obligation is something that you have to do regardless of how you feel about it. I most certainly will protect the ones I love out of want, but not out of obligation. So no, I don't think I have a moral obligation to do so. Do you think love might be the best feeling in the world? Nope. Being content is, for me, the best feeling in the world. But again, I don't like to compare emotions or feelings, so I don't think I can answer this. But if I were indeed to pick out an emotion and reign it superior to everything else, it would be contentness. Do you think love might be the worst feeling in the world? Sometimes it can indeed dip very low. Worst feeling in the world? No. Again, don't like to compare. Would you say that you're an impulsive person at times? Oh, yes. Do you ever get obsessive when you're passionate about something? Sadly, I have to answer yes. I don't want to answer yes, but that is indeed something that I have observed within myself, is that I can indeed get obsessive when I feel passionate about something, or sadly, someone. And sometimes that has even had, that has hurt people. So yes, I can. I don't like to answer yes, but I said I would be honest, for better or worse, and this is one of the worst. Yes. Have you ever pondered what the best way would be to dispose of a body? Let me just explain my pause here. It's not that it's like, have I? It's more of a, have I ever done that in a logical sense, being like, thinking about body like deterioration and like thinking about it in a scientific way? No, I don't think I have. Oh, just me then? Would you help your best friend hide a body? Nope. This is one of the things with me. I don't care who you are. You could be my girlfriend, my family, my best friend. You could be my companion for life. I don't care who you are. If you do something wrong, I will not stand behind you on that. And I don't think anyone should. There is a very faulty logic going around right now that if you don't support someone regardless and unconditionally, then you are not truly a fan or a friend or something. I strongly disagree with that. I would say it is a a sign of indeed friendship and love when someone stands opposed to you. That doesn't make sense the way I explained it, but to people who know, it will make sense to you. So with this, no, I will absolutely not help you hide a body. Even though you are my best friend. You could be my girlfriend, my family, my best friend. I would not help you in a wrong. Do you sometimes have a difficult time receiving compliments? Yes. Does the quote, "Some people are so poor, all they have is money," hold any meaning to you? Absolutely. I strongly believe in that. There's some people that are so obsessed by this number in their bank account that's already big enough to where they can live whatever life they will or want. But they still obsess about the number. It's like, you have the number you wanted and worked for. Why are you still so entrapped by this freaking number in a bank account? Would you say that you can be a bit of a procrastinator? Well, I answered that earlier. Yes. Not a bit. I can be a big procrastinator. Do you sometimes take things too literally when they're not meant to be taken that way? I can. Sometimes, yes. Do you have a difficult time keeping your focus? No, actually not. Whenever I get started on something, I'm pretty good at keeping my focus there. However, the getting started part, that's my problem. Have you ever struggled to find your purpose in life? Again, how do we interpret this? Because my nihilism kicks in right now, saying that, well, life doesn't have a general purpose, so how can I find it? But have I ever struggled to impose a purpose on my own life? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be insecure? Holy shit, yes. Do you sometimes feel lost, like you just don't know where you're going? I don't even know where I am right now. Do you sometimes have a difficult time saying no to the ones you love, even when it's detrimental to you? Depends on the degree of detriment. If it's very strong detriment, then I can say no, but I am indeed a pleaser. So I do have a difficult time saying no, even when I should say no. But it's just, again, with this worst case scenario mindset that I have, I convince myself that, oh, if you say no, they are gonna abandon you, they're gonna speak ill about you, they're never gonna trust you again, they're gonna blah, 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 with this freaking, I almost swore, mindset. Do you find that you generally have an easy time understanding others, though others don't have an easy time understanding you? Well, I don't even understand myself, so how could you? If you understand me, you're wrong. But do I generally have an easy time understanding others? That is one of the key reasons why I want to begin Tearstreak, the other channel that I'm doing, is because I feel like even if I don't agree with you, even if I doesn't share your viewpoint, even if I actively disagree with you, I still feel like, and I don't mean to sound self-aggrandizing, that's why I hate answering questions like this, because I feel so arrogant in some ways answering them, like I'm better than others, which I don't see myself as. But I think I am inherently good at understanding where you come from or why you might hold set viewpoints. Oftentimes when there's an argument, I end up seeing both sides and understanding both people. I might disagree with one of them, But that doesn't mean that I cannot understand why they reacted the way they did, why they thought the way they did, why their viewpoint is the way that it is. So I would answer yes to this, even though I don't like to, because just whenever I answer something that's like, I'm good, I just feel yucky. Do you feel like you've put more effort into others than others have put into you? No, I don't count effort. It's not a transaction or a trade where you're like, well, I did this much for you, therefore you now owe me this. I feel like the effort you put in to someone else is out of love or care, and that can never be a transaction. So I don't like to view the question this way. No. Do you believe you've suffered trauma that still affects you today? Yes. And sadly, that it doesn't just affect me, but sometimes I have let my trauma affect someone else. As I said, I sadly have hurt someone to being too obsessive. I don't like to give that answer, but it is the honest answer. Can you remember the moment when you were the weakest you have ever been? Yes. Is attention something you both love and hate as well? I do certainly hate it. And I don't think I necessarily love it. With some things I like it, but even, let's say a video is doing well, I'm immediately like, again, with this stupid mindset of mine, like, this is gonna be bad, more people are watching, that's not good. So I don't love it. No, I don't think there is any point of attention that I love, but I do indeed hate it. Do you ever worry about whether or not someone genuinely likes you? Yes. One of the issues with the condition that I have been diagnosed with, and I'll get more into that in the end of year stream, I'm just going to briefly touch on it now, is the questioning of loyalty of others, whether or not what they say is indeed true or just something they say to you and then go behind your back and betray you. It's a symptom of what I have been diagnosed with. If you want to hear more, be there for the end of year stream. But yes, I do worry about whether someone is genuine in their praise of me. Have you ever felt taken advantage of? Yes. Do you ever get an overwhelming sense of dread or impending doom? No. I did at one point, due to some of the medication I was taking, have some really absurd and crazy, like, end of world thoughts. But they weren't natural of me. The only time I would say that I have an overwhelming sense of dread is whenever I think about traveling. Getting on a plane, oh my god. But in general, no. Do you know deep down in your heart that everything's going to be okay? Nope, I don't think you can know. Just so you're aware, it'll be now. I'm almost done with you. Well, you better, because we're out of time for this one, so we need to wrap this one up. Just a few more questions, Wanderer. Would you rather love or be loved? I think I would rather love. I mean, the way the question is phrased, it can be interpreted as would you rather give or receive? And it seems selfish to say received. No, I don't even love myself, so I'd rather love. Is it better to live a long, mediocre life or a short, fulfilling life? Short, but fulfilling. I'm a huge advocate for that. Live your life. What's the point of living a long life if it's just stale? It may just be me, but that's one of the viewpoints I don't understand, is when someone tries everything in their power, they spend the whole day, every mind-brain cell of their head goes towards living a long life. Yes, but you're not living that life. What's the point of having a long life if you're not living it? Would you rather have inner beauty or outer beauty? I like how I am right now. I have a decent amount of inner beauty and none outer beauty. God, I'm ugly. But I'm okay with that. Which would you say you value more, your own life or the life of others? Others. If it came down to it and it was like either I die or they die, I would genuinely say like there is more reason for you to be in the world. The world will fare better if you keep on living than I do. Would it be easier to prove that God exists or that God does not exist? I couldn't even say it. I think if we see God as the complex entity that he is described to be, it would be rather difficult to prove that he doesn't exist. Would you rather struggle to wake up every morning, I don't care about that, or struggle to get to sleep every night? If I can get away with that, can I have my insomnia erased? I would love it. That's one of the biggest hurdles in my life is my goddamn insomnia. I don't care about if I need coffee and energy drinks and 6 hours to wake up. I don't care at all. But having struggled to fall asleep is such a pain. Would you rather have too many friends or too few? Too few, absolutely. Would you rather be the center? Nope. Completely ignore it. Would you rather never read again or never write again? Never read again, I think. Would you rather have constant moonlight? Would you rather save the world from pollution or save the world from hunger? I feel like you do more good by saving it from pollution. Hunger is like a one-sided path where pollution is a whole infrastructure. At least the way I see it. Would you rather live for only one more day or live for an eternity and never die? Only one more day. Living for an eternity. I don't know why we seek this, because to me that sounds like torture. Again, with the question, is a flower beautiful because it withers? I think so, yes. So if we live for an eternity, I think a lot of beauty is lost. Would you rather sleep too much or sleep too little? Can I just get some sleep, please? I don't care about sleeping like 10 hours or 12 hours. I just want to sleep. Would you rather live in reality or a dream of your choosing? Reality. I have always said I would rather be hurt by the truth than to be comforted by a lie. I would rather live in reality, even as it may hurt, than to live in something that's not real or a lie. Would you rather have someone else make all your decisions for you or make all of your decisions by tossing a coin? Humans will impose their own will and sentiment onto set decisions. Would you rather lose your long-term memory or your short-term memory? Long-term, I think. Would you rather be wanted or needed? Needed. I heard a phrase said not long ago that really changed my outlook on life a little bit, because I felt it to be so true. And the person said, if you want meaning in life, try having meaning for someone else. So I would absolutely want to be needed. Would you rather go to jail for something your friend did or have a friend go to jail for something you did? I would rather go to jail. I would feel so horrible if someone else went to jail for something I did. Would you rather be immune to physical pain or be immune to emotional pain? I don't think it's healthy to be immune to emotional pain, so physical. Not that that's healthy either, but I think that's the lesser evil. Would you always choose truth or always choose dare? Dare, because I can't even say truth. And let's fire up this party here, so dare. I dare you to always tell the truth. And I have, even when it hurt. Would you say you're more of a realist or more of a dreamer? Well, more of a dreamer. I live my head in the clouds, or whatever you say. Are you more afraid of dying or losing a loved one? Losing a loved one. I don't care about dying. I care about the way that I'm gonna die. especially if it's in a plane crash. But I don't really care about dying in and of itself. I could die tomorrow and it wouldn't matter. But I am afraid of losing loved ones, absolutely. Do you put more value in honesty or resourcefulness? Ooh. Okay, this one is going to surprise you because I speak so much about honesty and living in reality and being, like, speaking your opinions or stuff like that and answering all these questions honestly. But there is another point to this. Honesty is like hunger. It's a one-sided track or path. Whereas resourcefulness, to me, I see that as an infrastructure. That's you adapting to whatever the situation calls for. That could be a white lie. Would an honesty be better in that situation? Not necessarily. But you being resourceful, I think that's better than being honest. Although I do value honesty very high, but I think resourcefulness is just in a completely different ballpark. I don't know if I explained it too well. I think I botched it up a little bit. So disregard the explanation I gave and just take the honesty is a path where resourcefulness is a infrastructure. Which emotion do you believe is stronger? I don't like to compare love or anger. I think love. Do you believe that you personally are more of a product of nature or nurture? I think nature. I don't think nurture had too much influence on me. I find your answers very intriguing, Wanderer. I believe I've got to know you even better than before. That's good, because I still don't know who I am. I'd like to thank you for allowing me a second opportunity. It truly has been an honor analyzing someone of your depth. Don't go back and watch the first video and see if there's any conflicting answers. Don't do that. That was 6 months ago. Forget it. I suppose a deal is a deal, isn't it? Allow me to grant you a gift. This is the gift of insight, Wanderer. I will tell you what I see deep within you. Please listen to my words carefully, for they contain the trapped essence of your soul. No one really knows how much you hurt, do they, Wanderer? You keep it hidden so well. And even when you don't, it's almost like no one is listening, or even worse, understanding now, are they? Oh, how painful it must be to feel so alone, Wanderer. But you've gotten used to it, haven't you? Indeed I have. You've gotten used to the feeling of being self-reliant, independent and self-sufficient, if you will. And while you might take great pride in that, we both know the truth. You aren't that way because you wanted to be, now are you, Wanderer? Nope. You're the way because you had to be. If only someone else put in as much effort as you did. If only someone cared as much about you as you did about them. If only someone loved you as much as you loved them. Things could have been so much different. You were robbed of that luxury, Wanderer. You deserve so much better than what you were given, and we both know it. However, with that being said, not all is lost, not all is too late, and not all is hopeless. As a matter of fact, going through the traumas that you have in life, the pain you've endured, the internal torment that most will never come to know or understand, has made your heart grow bigger and your soul burn brighter, Wanderer. I guess in some ways, yeah, that's like I said with the defects. I think it is actually in some ways a good thing to have defects. You wish to give others what you wish others would have been able to give you. And that, my friend, is going to ensure that you get exactly what you've always wanted in the end. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when, Wanderer. I hope so. And I know you're tired of waiting. I would be too. But your happiness is coming, I assure you. That void inside will be filled, and if you could only see what I see, you'd be dancing in the rain. Stay positive. Stay strong. Stay steadfast in your pursuit of happiness, It's just around the corner, Wanderer. I can promise you that. Heed these words, Wanderer. They will help you on your journey forward if you let them. Once again, I want to give you a parting gift before I take my leave. A simple gesture, if you will. One singular word. And that gifted word, Wanderer, is deserving. I don't think you could have chosen a word that I would feel I deserved less than deserving. And I'm sorry if that's gloomy or whatever it is. I don't think I deserve... I'm not gonna go there because it's gonna turn into a tier streak episode. Yeah, I treated this game with honesty, and now it's giving me this. I disagree with it, but that's where we are. And with that, I take my leave. Until next time, Wanderer. And so shall we. We are way over time for this episode. I didn't think it would be that long. I even rushed some of the answers, but I guess honesty is never really rushable. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I said I would answer all the questions in earnest, and I did, even the ones where I don't like the answer, but sadly that is the true answer. And I hope you have enjoyed getting to know me a little better. I think we'll play more of this. They do a bunch of these test games, and they are really fun to do. But for now, I think my honesty is at its limit, and I shall leave this game here. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until that next time, bye!